Now at 6, a crash in Seneca results in an overturned horse trailer and a burning Jeep. Plus, Via Christi reveals a patient data breach through a third-party hack. And the Joplin Rock and Mineral Museum hosts an event hundreds of millions of years in the making.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Ascension Via Christi reveals some of its patients' information was hacked recently. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. The healthcare provider said it received notice about the hack involving some patients' information for some Ascension entities in Kansas, including Via Christi Hospital Pittsburgh, Via Christi St. Francis, and Via Christi Imaging Manhattan, and St. John Jane Phillips in Oklahoma. Now, this incident did not involve Ascension systems, networks, or electronic health records or other Ascension locations, but instead a third-party partner. Both parties have worked with impacted patients and say they are reviewing their existing policies and procedures. Well, a crash in Seneca, Missouri leads to an overturned horse trailer and a burning Jeep. Authorities responded to the crash at about 2:45 in the morning at Bethel Road and Highway U. A Jeep traveling east on Highway U crashed into a northbound truck and horse trailer, which failed to yield to the Jeep. Horse trailer overturned and the Jeep caught fire. The driver of the Jeep was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. 2 horses rescued at the scene appeared to not have injuries, and no one in the pickup suffered any injuries. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us with a first look at your forecast.
Well, of course, showers, thunderstorms late last night into the morning hours. Very heavy amounts of rain, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning across the region, but we needed it, and we have more thunderstorms in the forecast. All right, we're sitting mainly mid-70s right now. If we look back at the rain last night, this is rainfall radar estimated totals, but everybody had rain. In fact, we had a pocket of 3 to 5 inches in eastern parts of Jasper County. These are gone. We look pretty good as we go through the evening hours, but we are going to have to track some more additional thunderstorms with a severe threat by the time we get into tomorrow evening. But if you're heading out, high school football tonight looks great, 75 at kickoff, 72 in the fourth quarter. We are going to have a lot of clouds, but besides that, we're shaping up pretty good. Of course, we're going to look at the weekend and that severe threat here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. A Freeman cardiologist helps publish a medical textbook. Freeman Health System's Dr. Vigyan Bang, board-certified interventional cardiologist, has co-edited and co-written a massive medical textbook, and he hopes will help cardiologists better treat cardiovascular diseases plaguing 500 million people worldwide. Published by the Cardiological Society of India and written in English, the 1,600-page book consists of 150 chapters written by 250 prominent cardiologists from across the world, including Dr. Bang, who penned 3 book chapters covering heart and valve diseases. Impressive. Well, if you'd like to rock, you should roll on down to the 24th Annual Rock and Mineral Show in Joplin this weekend. Joplin History and Mineral Museum welcomes the public out to the event. Collectors, rock hounds, and the curious can check out handmade jewelry and sculptures, get their rocks identified, and even crack their own geodes. Museum's curator says the event has grown in size from its humble beginnings.
It started back in last century when I'd first come to work here, and one of the things you wanted to do was to organize a gem and mineral club. Well, after about a year of that going on, the club wanted to start having a rock show here in Joplin, because years and years ago we had one, but that kind of died away.
The 24th Annual Rock and Mineral Show runs from today through Sunday. And if bigger rocks aren't your thing, Kansas has some gravel you might be interested in. Gravel Kansas is a brand new cycling initiative that's coming to the Sunflower State. Gravel Kansas is dedicated to crafting unforgettable gravel cycling routes across picturesque Kansas. At the heart of Gravel Kansas is a commitment to celebrating the rich heritage, culture, and stories that define the state. You can find out more about Gravel Kansas at their website. Well, coming up, some pint-sized students in Carthage welcome some international students from MSSU. Plus, If you've ever thought about joining the circus, you won't have to go far. KOAM's Fernanda Silva takes us under the big top in Joplin. Some special guests brought an international flair to the Columbian Kindergarten in Carthage. 4 international students from Missouri Southern stopped by Columbian Kindergarten to talk about what their home countries and cultures are like. Officials say it's a good way for the kindergartners to learn more about the world. For the students, it was mostly about fun interaction.
Really love talking to me and learning about my country. Like, they're excited about the food that we eat, my dress. They were so excited about that. The kids were very, very interactive and I loved it.
For the discussions, each international student was set up in a different spot in the room and the kindergarten students rotated around. How fun. Well, after 2 weekends of shows, the Mexican do Portugal Circus extends its stay in Joplin. The 25-person crew will now be in the city through October 1st. They've toured multiple countries and promised to perform a show that'll leave people on the edge of their seats. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has their story.
Brothers Aldo and Israel Portugal are the 5th generation of circus performers. They were raised under the circus tents in different cities and countries.
You grew up watching the show and you grew up watching the performance. I grew up watching performance from all over. And now we're just like, damn.
After years practicing, Aldo is able to do things that are even hard to explain.
Do it with my head, no hands, no legs, only my head on the trapeze. It's really shocking. I know it sounds weird, but once you see it live, you are like, damn.
Aldo is not the only one with jaw-dropping performances. I'm right now inside one of the most exciting and dangerous attractions of the circus, the Globe of Death. And just being inside here is already scary. I cannot imagine the emotions that the motorcyclists feel when they're getting here for the presentations. And this is why every day, 2 hours before each show, they check everything to make sure that the equipment are working well.
You never know when the bike is gonna have a failure because it's a engine, so
I can't even watch it because my palms start to sweat. I get really nervous, you know, and that's our show, what it's about. It's about excitement and of course a little bit of laugh with the clowns, but mostly excitement.
Israel started to ride the motorcycle at the age of 9.
you first learn how to move the bike inside, but just a little bit, and then you start slow.
The circus that carries the brothers' last name also evolved with its performers. The Do Portugal show doesn't count on animals as attractions.
It has to be improved, you know. It has to move on with our generation.
While moving on with new performances, this show is for people all ages.
As a performer, it's not a big crowd or a small crowd. It's a good crowd. When I get something back from the audience, that's when it's really enjoyable.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
This is the Do Portugal Circus's first time in Missouri. And again, they'll be in Joplin through October 1st with presentations each Thursday through Sunday. A little later, Sports Director John Dales has an interview with Nevada head coach Wes Beechler just ahead of tonight's Game of the Week.
Plus, we have more thunderstorms for the weekend and a severe threat. I'm going to break that down coming up. Well, of course, showers, thunderstorms, heavy amounts of rain again for the second time this week. Late last night through the morning hours, we did have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, but most of these were just good old storms, strong storms, which we are very accustomed to around here. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri looks pretty good. All right, rainfall at the Joplin Airport since midnight, about 3/4 of an inch for the month, 3 inches. But we're still over 10 inches behind where we should be for this time of the year. All right, if you're getting out this evening, looks great. Look at our temps, low to mid 70s, still upper 70s once you get out across our western counties. Let's go outside. 7th range line, 76, southerly winds at about 10. Visibility is fantastic. A little breezy. We have these southerly winds at about 10 to 20. It's going to stay kind of breezy through the evening tonight and tomorrow ahead of our next storm system, which is rolling in tomorrow night. All right, Friday night, high school football. A little bit of clouds, but it looks great. Kickoff shortly, 75, 72 by the end of the games. At least we needed the rain, so very thankful for that. But at least we got it out of here. Look at this band that dropped through early this afternoon. Now we're clearing out. We look pretty good. Nothing is going on. We're going to stay nice and quiet as we go through the rest of the evening hours. Any showers pushing off toward the south and to the east. Here's our next storm system building. North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. That's a pretty strong little system. It's going to head toward us late tomorrow, mainly tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, but we have a pretty good severe threat. So you got to look level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're a level 3 out of 5 for us tomorrow, especially Kansas, Oklahoma, and then stretching into southwestern Missouri. So what are we looking at? This is mainly 5 p.m. to midnight. I think it's closer more like 8 p.m., 1 a.m. Hail and wind. We do have a tornado threat with the initial storms, western counties, and then we kind of switch to hail, wind, and rain event. Let's step through time for you. We're going to move to noon tomorrow. Temperatures lower 80s. Warming, upper 80s once we get into the afternoon. Here's 4 p.m. Let's move through the evening. Here's 6 p.m. A couple little thunderstorms trying to get going in our far western counties. As we go through the evening, I'll stop at 8 p.m. Thunderstorms, western counties. These could be strong to severe. We do have a low tornado threat with those. As we continue through the evening, they advance south and east. Here's 10 p.m. getting to the state line. Still that severe threat. By the time we get into midnight, 1 a.m., mainly along and south of I-44, and then we just kind of switch to a very heavy rain event as we go through the rest of the night. So what kind of rain could we get? What's the potential over the next 36 hours? I think a lot of people are going to get an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain, which we definitely need. All right, alert day tomorrow due to that severe threat, 86. 79 on Sunday, 79 on Monday, so temperatures cool down. Fantastic. Mainly dry next week. Quite a bit of rain this week. Glad we got it, and we'll get more because we're going to dry up a bit next week.
If you needed to get something done outside tomorrow, is there any time that would be good for that?
All day until about 6 p.m.
There you go,
Yeah.
during the day. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, evidence of crimes from the past create a wealth of knowledge for the Parsons Police Department. Parsons Police Department records coordinator uncovered some of Parsons' storied criminal past while inventorying records. They located approximately 14,000 fingerprint cards, including some dating back to the 1950s. These pieces of law enforcement history will undergo digitization through a joint effort with the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. They recovered fingerprint cards that represent a unique slice of Parsons' law enforcement heritage, offering a glimpse into decades of criminal investigations and identification procedures. Cards have been boxed up for transfer to the KBI and weigh nearly 1,000 pounds. Well, still ahead, John Dales is live in Nevada previewing the game of the week between two undefeated teams. Hear from the head coach of the Tigers up next.
Hey, welcome into the KOAM Game of the Week between 4-0 Nevada and 4-0 Mount Vernon. I'm John Dales here with head coach of the Nevada Tigers, Wes Beechler. Coach, you guys are 4-0 to this point in the year. You really haven't been tested too much. Your closest game was a 27-point win last week. What can you just say about where you guys are at as a team right now?
Well, I've been very pleased because we had 9 all-area players leave the team last year, seniors, and the young men that stepped up in their place have done a really good job so far. So I've been very proud of those guys, and we're making a lot of yards with some backs that didn't get a lot of RC time last year. So that's been a pleasant surprise as well.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the running game, too. With how physical you guys have been all season, coming into every matchup, how important is it just to win the battle up front, too, with your offensive line, with guys like Talon Chandler and the rest of your O-line?
Well, our O-line's played way above expectations. We knew that we had our both guards back in our center from last year, and all 3 of those young men are good football players, but been pleasantly surprised with both tackles this year. One was a starter last year. It's improved tremendously in Kellen Ost. And then Blake Woods is our right tackle, and he's really stepped up this year. Moved him from center to right tackle this year, and he's responded very well.
Also interested in what you have to say about your defense. You start the year with a shutout, give up 19 the next couple of weeks, but then, McDonald County, you play them last week, you only give up 1 score. What can you say just about how your defense played so far?
Well, Coach Barnes and our defensive staff have done a really good job with this group of young men. We've got some playmakers on that side. They like to come up and help make tackles in the run game, and they're also heady enough to stay back in the passing game and cover their zone. So been very pleased with them overall. Our linebacking core has been a strength for the last 4 years here in Nevada, and this group's continued that trend.
I want to talk a little about your opponent tonight, too. Mount Vernon comes in at 4-0. What can you say about them, how they're going to be a good test for you guys this evening?
I mean, they're coached by a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Tom Cox is one of the best coaches ever in Southwest Missouri, and he wouldn't want me to say that, but it's true. So they're very well coached. Their defense plays very hard. Their offense plays very hard. A quarterback that has a good arm, throws a nice deep ball, hits open receivers across the middle routinely. And then probably one of the best running backs we're going to see this year in their running back number 33. His name escapes me right now. But just a really well-coached team that plays the game the right way, and will definitely be a challenge for us.
Considering everything you just said there, too, what's going to be a key to getting a win tonight?
Well, so far in the year, we had 0 turnovers, and we've gotten 7 turnovers. So if we can play a clean game like that again, not turn the ball over and create some turnovers on the defensive side, and then we have to control the clock. Our offensive line has to play well, and our backs running hard and keeping things rolling for us.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, those are the storylines heading into this evening's game. Nevada comes in, obviously, the much more physical team, the physically bigger team. Mount Vernon, meanwhile, they come in as the underdog on the road here as well. They got something to prove. Big 8 conference battle, both of them undefeated. We'll see what ends up happening. Kickoff tonight at 7 p.m. here, so coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to have highlights tonight at 10 on 4 States Friday night, and as well at 11 on Fox 14 Press Box. So we hope you'll be able to join us then. Until then, from our Game of the Week here at Logan Stadium in Nevada, I'm John Dales, and we'll be back after that.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. It's a party in McCune, Kansas, as the Lions Club hosts the town's annual Fall Festival. West Pittsburgh Police Department hosts a car seat check so parents know if their child is safe. And what a new report shows about accidents involving infant products already deemed unsafe. Those stories and a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, falling from the sky, a skydiver demonstrates incredible precision to land on an inflatable unicorn. Nice. Jack Zackel managed the fairy tale landing as he was taking part in a skydive festival in Nottingham, England, where several other skydivers were attempting to complete the feat. Skydivers were only allowed to take part in the unusual competition if they had taken part in more than 200 jumps. A representative from the skydive.
He was coming in hot.
That was good, though.
Yeah. Right in there.
Wonder if too much impact would be painful.
Nah, it's a unicorn. All right, weather-wise, showers, thunderstorms back in for us tomorrow night. Actually, mid-evening. These could be strong to severe. So we're going to make Saturday an alert day, but if you want to get outside, majority of the day is going to be fine. It's just a little breezy. Morning thunderstorms Sunday, and then right around 80 degrees all the way through next week.
Yeah, you can get some yard work done, but it's going to be too muddy to do anything.
Very true. Very true.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.